channel, Loving Handcrafts by BMW. This is Brenda. So I'm here today with another project, and of course it's a mini notebook. I am completely obsessed with doing these notebooks. Every time I go into the crafting store, I go by the paper section, I am looking at paper pads in a whole new way, just to make mini notebooks. So I already put together this notebook, so I'm going to, I can't remember if I did it on camera or not, but this is a 3x4 notebook. It has 3 dividers and some tags as well. So you have your, and it has tabs, 3 tags, a wire. Well, you know what? And I forgot to grab wire too for the book. And then a front and back cover. They're all using some paper pads. Let me pause. I was like, what am I forgetting before I get started? Of course, I always forget something. And I looked down and I realized I did not select wire. So let me grab some wire out of my stash and I'll show you the paper pad that I'm using today. So I'm back. So this is the wire. I'm using the memory keeper wire. In case you're interested, for this particular mini notebook, I used this paper pad from local Hobby Lobby. And it is got such a beautiful texture to it. I really love this. I will be making more from this paper pad. It is called Bright Vintage, and it's one of my absolute favorite. Now, I have been using 6x6 paper pads. It's a lot easier to cut down to make these. So that's that. Oh, let me show you the tags. And then these are just the coordinating tags, and then they're just this pocket. Okay. So for the notebook that I'm making today, I went by, and of course I can't stop buying paper pads, to my local Michael's store, and I selected, I'm not sure if these were on sale. I think they were two for something. But I'm going to use this one. It's called All Occasions Basic. This is the pad that I pulled a lot of my papers from. And I think I'm going to be making another mini notebook from this paper pad. Actually, I like some of the cutouts, so I'll definitely be using the cut aparts. So I'll definitely be using this one in a future project. And that's one of the reasons I got that, is because it has some cool cutouts. But my mom loves butterflies, and that's what got me thinking about this one. That's a future project. I'm going to lay that to the side. Let's see, what can I say? On a side note, I haven't decorated this, and I'm always torn if I leave them blank, if I decorate them or not. But I was just playing around with one of my old Spellbinder card kits, and I found this in my stash, like paper, this image, and then this just hello. I might add it to it, I might not. I really don't want to, I don't know what I'm going to do, but that would be my thought if I was going to decorate the front of this book. Set that to a side. Okay, so you're going to need some decorative paper to start this project, whatever you like. This, again, this is 6x6 paper pad. Definitely going to need your glue. You're going to need some type of binding wire, and if I'm not mistaken, this is 5/8. If I'm not mistaken, memory keeper. Hardware, I'm going to be using my multi-cinch tool, and I might not be able to do it on camera, but when I go to cinch it, I'm going to use my big cinch because I like the way it cinches. It's better. You're going to need scissors and some type of blade, a hole punch. I'm going to be using my brayer that's well loved. I'm going to be using my 5-in-1 book making tool. Am I missing anything? No. You're also going to need, in addition to your paper pad, you're going to need some 3x5 note card. Is that right? I think that is index cards. Let me make sure. Yeah, gotta go look at that one. This is 4x3, so it's so it's gonna be, if you put two of these together, I think it's 4x6. Yes, 4x6. Okay. Hey, there you go, Brenda. That's the use of the noodle. So some 4x6 index cards. I've already punched some of these in. They're 3. They're going to be 4 for the divider, and that's going to have 10 sheets each. So it's going to be about 40 pages. I did use a punch to do the blippy block. Where is it? Did I put it up? Sorry. Where did I put it? I used a punch to make these tabs, and I put it back up. So try to put things up as I use them. So you'll need some type. You don't have to do the tabs for the dividers, but I was inspired by Carolina Crafts, so I follow her model. So I make my books after, like her, with a few modifications. So you don't have to follow her example like I did. But I'll put a link to her site because I didn't make this up. I didn't come up with these measurements. And I'm just giving credit where credit is due. Okay, so let's talk measurements. So for your, and you're going to need chipboard. So what I end up doing is, when I got some chipboard from Amazon, and I'll try to remember to put a link to where I found this chipboard on Amazon, and I used my Cricut to cut out my chipboard so I would know these pieces are exactly 3x4. So you're going to need that. When I'm in the cutting mood, I go ahead and cut a whole bunch of these. I get these from the local dollar store, 4x6 index cards, and just chop them in half. And I have a stack cutter to do that. Let's see, so I kind of do all of that up front, like if I'm making more of that. From my paper pad, here it is, for your inside cover, if you're going to cover your paper pad, if I'm not mistaken, let me get my measurements out, consult my journal, because I do have a crafting journal, because who can remember all of this stuff? What's that size of the paper? So let me back up. The chipboard that I use, this chipboard is 3 1/8 by 4 1/8. You need 2 of those. Okay. For the outside cover, you would need to cut this 4 by 5. Okay. For the inside cover, so if you wanted to make this your inside cover, this would be 3 by 4. For your divider, we're going to select this as one of 3 of dividers. This would be the full 6 by 4. So you would keep it 6 and cut it by 4. Then you're going to score your divider at 1 1/2. So you're basically going to take your 6. Score it at 1 1/2. Score it at 3 in the center, so you can make your divider. And then for your pockets, if you're going to do a band like that, you're going to need that to be 1 by 4. If you're making a side pocket, the side pocket would need to be 2 by 3 inches, and then the belly band would be 1 by 3. Where's the belly band? I have a belly band in all of this. So I have done all of those cuts And I'll be sure to leave that in belly band. Okay, wait a minute. I think I used one of the belly bands already. So here's the belly band. And then you're going to punch out 3 tabs. So let's put together a lot of this. I did a lot of prep off camera. And I'm going to do some on camera so you can kind of see it. But I didn't need you to see me to do the same things over and over again. The first thing that I'm going to do is go ahead and you decide what order you want to do yours in. I like to get the hole punching out the way. So I typically will go ahead and punch my inserts, my paper inserts. So I'm going to use that on the mini, the multi-cinch, or I got the multi-cinch, I didn't get the mini. So I'm going to take my little note cards and just kind of turn it where you can, hopefully you can see it. I'm going to place my paper in between the 4 here and the 4 over here. And I'm not going to use the guide that comes with it because it's just 4 inches. So I'm going to try to make sure I get it placed in between both 4s on either side. And I'm holding it all the way to the back, holding it in place and punching down. Sorry if the camera jerks. That's why I went ahead and did a lot of them off camera. And put that there, and then I'm going to do the next set. Okay, let's make 3. Sure, because I need to make sure I'm not talking too much because I'm trying to concentrate. Okay, that looks good. And I'm just holding it up against the edge. There we go. Oh, la 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 la. So there's my stack. Okay, that kind of work is done. So I've got 4 of these. So that work is done. I don't have to worry about it. It's all set and ready to go. Lay that over to the side. Now I want to do is I've already covered my one chipboard off camera. I'm going to cover this one. And then you can decide which way you want your dots to go. And then you can decide what you want to, what paper selection you want. So again, this outside cover is 4 by 5. So I'm going to use my grid system here. I'm going to take my chipboard, which is cut 3 and 1/8 by 4 and 1/8. And I'm going to take my little glue. You can use liquid adhesive, you can use tape runner, whatever you prefer at this point. But I think you all know where my heart is. It's with the liquid. So I'm going to try as best I can to get this centered. That's why I'm using the lines on my craft mat to kind of sort of, oh yeah, that looks pretty good. If I didn't tell you, I went ahead and used my Cricut to do all of the cutting, but you can use a paper trimmer. You do not have to use your Cricut. I just choose to use it because why not? And I know my cuts are precise and are the same every single time, but that's just me. So I'm going to use my little book tool here. I'm going to use this corner edge and move that over out the way. And I'm going to cut these little triangles. I'm going to use my finger blade for that. So I'm going to cut off the edge so I can fold this up. That's just my little on-desk receptacle. That takes it. I'll do that 4 times. Boop, boop, ba-doop. Boop, ba-doop. Oh yeah, I am. When I don't have an idea, or I don't have anything planned, I go back to making these notebooks because I get to use some scraps. I get to use some paper pad that I've purchased. I mean, I get to use things that I've purchased. And these make really good stocking stuffers if I'm, you know, because I'm making a lot over time. So when I have to roll out a Christmas gift or a birthday gift or, you know, just a thank you gift or something, I have this in my stash. And people love notebooks. I love notebooks. Okay, so I went ahead and cut these all on the thing. So while I've got them cut, I'm going to go ahead and fold them over and make a crease. I had my bone folder out. I don't know what I did with it. Oh my goodness, Brenda, really? Okay, it was here. It was on my desk. Where are you hiding? I don't have my bone folder with me. Okay, all right, I'll make it work. It's somewhere. I'm folding both of these corners in. You know, you start getting prepped for this. You think you're prepped. You think you got it all together, and then life happens, and then you lose something. I'm sorry, I'm just checking on my desk. If you could see the behind the scenes stuff that goes on, the hijinks. Okay. Oh, it was hidden under my thing. Here it is. I had it. I was like, I know I had it. I had everything laid out before I got started. Okay. And so I'm using my bone folder to sharpen the creases. I am off today from work. It's Friday before, exactly 1 week before the 4th of July. I am off for personal reasons, and I told my husband I was crafting, and I hadn't put out as many videos as I would have liked in June, because we were doing our summer vacationing, and we went to Gatlinburg for our anniversary, and that kind of threw my schedule off, my crafting schedule. I didn't send her this exactly, but I don't think it's going to matter. And I feel like I'm getting right back in the swing of things because I was off. I was able to do one video, but I usually try to do 2 or 3 in the month, but I didn't make my goal this month. I'm just kind of mad. But we had a great time in Gatlinburg. If you've ever been, put a comment for me. I had never been to the mountains. Never, ever been to Gatlinburg. I've gone through mountains, but I'd never actually rented a cabin and did the whole tourist thing in Gatlinburg. I think I might have mentioned it in my last video, but our country is so beautiful. We did a road trip, so we didn't fly or anything. We drove the car, and it was early June, and my husband just looked at me and he said, "Can you believe how beautiful everything is?" You know, on the freeway, just driving from Mississippi. Yeah, you could tell I didn't sit through that. To there was absolutely gorgeous. To Tennessee. Now, I've been to Tennessee, but I've been on the other side of Tennessee, more towards Memphis. Not there. Okay. Now, I got that taken care of. So now it's time to cover the chipboard, and then, whoops, I closed my notes. Let me open them back up. This is, the inside cover is 3x4. I should have known that. It's the same size as the index cards. So I'm going to do this. So as I was saying, Tennessee was beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. Yeah, so put a comment if you've ever been to Gatlinburg or stayed in a cabin or what your experience is. We did not meet a bear. We had no wildlife. We did see a snake and we did see a rabbit, but no bears in sight. And I was kind of happy we didn't have to contend with any bears, because the cabin was in a nice forested, wooded area, but no bears to be seen. I think they had other things to do than mess with us crazy tourists. But whoa, what happened with my brayer? Okay, I think I need, oh my goodness, my brayer's going wonky on me. Something happened with it. It fell the other day, so, and I've had this brayer for, it's one of my first purchases when I first got my Cricut was this brayer. Okay, how long does your work? Okay, so that's the idea behind that. Those are my covered. Okay, so that takes care of that. Boom, boom, put that to the side. Then I did an extra piece for this, and this is again my spin on Carolina's design. She doesn't have this piece here, but I kind of like using this in as a break, so that if you wrote something on this first page and you happen to open your book, it wouldn't be visible, and it just kind of, I think it makes this a more finished product. That's my opinion only. Okay, so that goes there. For the tags, I did go ahead and use, this is some heavy cardstock, and I went ahead and cut them out of white heavy cardstock, because this paper is kind of, I mean, you guess you could cut more or and stack them up, but I wanted this to be a little bit more substantial because the user could be pulling it in and out. They can put stickers on here, they can decorate it, they can do whatever they want with these 3 cardstocks. So I'm going to go ahead and glue the decorative panel on top. And I do have other tags. You don't have to use this particular tag, but I like this tag for this notebook. And again, one of my other obsessions is tags. I'm like, oh my goodness, if I'm not making a card, I'm making a tag. If I'm not making a tag, I'm thinking about a card. If I'm not thinking about a card, I'm thinking about, oh, that would make a great tag. So there you go. That's where my brain is. And believe it or not, I've pulled out some panels that I've done that I don't know what to do with. I'm going to try to be using those in my books now, in my little notebooks, because I got all these panels and they didn't make it to a card, but they would be perfect for a tag, or perfect as a cover, or perfect as a pocket. I can use them other than on a, oh, this is really bad. I don't know what happened there. But I like my brayer to cover things down. So I've got 3 tags. Okay, that's done for that. That's how that goes. You know what? I don't know what this, let me look. I don't know the measurements of the tag. Okay, well, Brenda doesn't know what these niches are, so here we go. I am not as smart as a 5th grader, apparently. Okay, so that is 2 1/2 by 3 1/2. 3 1/2. Okay, that takes care of that. All right, so I've got to do some, like I said, I went ahead and did some, punching and cutting off camera, but I wanted to show you that this is your 4x6 for your dividers, and I had to do it a couple of times because I forgot that I had to put this on first before I hole punched it, so I had to hole punch it and then do that. But to make your tags, so basically these will fit in here, and I would not use this one for that one. I would use a darker color for this, like that. Okay, and I kind of screwed that up. But anyway, I am going to glue the bottom down, just a thin bead of glue, so that kind of seals it up. I'm not going to glue this side because that's the cinch, the binding wire will keep that closed. But I don't, and it's kind of tight, so your tag may not fall through if you forget this, because I have forgotten to do that. And nothing fell through. So again, this is your dividers, and this is 6 by 4 or 4 by 6, however you want to call it. That's why I like using the 6 by 6 notepads, because the dividers are really easy to do. And then it's just a thin bead of glue right down at the bottom, just to keep the tag from falling out. Okay, so I'm going to kind of put this in order of how I like it. I think, let's see, I've got a dark here, so I want the light to go here. I want the stripe to go in the middle. So I've got a belly band, and then I want that to go here. Okay. Then, while that's doing its thing, before I finish, I want to go ahead and, this is going to take me a moment, so bear with me. I want to go ahead and put down, so this is the tab. And Miss Carolina has a template that she used so she can get her spacing right. And I've tried to make a template. It's never, I just have to do it myself. I just have to do it like this. But what I did do, I'm sorry, before I put that down, I did put a little tick mark in pencil here. So at least I know I have this one in this first spot, because I did dry fit them. And I want to move this over just a little. Come on. Okay. No, 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 no. Okay. This is the only thing I'm not confident about when I do these. Oh, come on. Stay straight. Stay straight. Okay. Alright, so since that's my first one, I want to get my last one on, and I'm going to use because I want the words to go next, but I don't want the black on black. I know this is going to be in the first position. Do I want the dots with this one? Okay, yeah. I want this one with this one. And then this will be, okay, so I want this light one in the middle. Okay, so I'm going to put that there, but I'm going to go ahead and put this one on the bottom. And then I've learned just to do one side at a time, just so I can have it even. Okay, so then that's how that's going to look. Because now that I have that, getting the one in the center is going to be how to get the alignment. So if that's what that looks like, then I need to get this one in alignment between these two. And that's what I struggle with. So if you have any ideas, even when I did the template, I still struggled. So that's kind of sort of how I want it to look. See? Okay, so what I'm gonna do is make sure I don't glue this one to the wrong side. So, let's do, okay, see? That's what happens. And I can't find my paper clip to paper clip it in place. So yeah, that's why I said bear with me on this one. The struggle is real. So if you were making this, you know, if you might have a better way of doing it than me, but this is my struggle. But it's not enough to stop me from making these mini notebooks. I think I got it now. Okay. Stay. So before it kind of sets up, let me get it back and make sure it looks good. That's why I learned how to just do one side at a time. Okay, not bad. Still good. I still like it. Okay, so let's just undo these. It's not the end of the world. That's what I tell myself, Brenda. It's not going to be the end of the world if it's not aligned perfectly. It's not the end of the world. Okay. That takes care of my 3 dividers. So let's get my paper lined up. So like I said, here's my cover piece. The only complaint I have about this paper pad is this one from Michaels is this freaking hole. I hate it. It's the only complaint. If it didn't have the hole, because look, if I didn't cut it off right, I got a little bit of chippy do here, but like I said, not gonna cry about it. 3. Here. And here. And then this would be my front cover. You don't have to do the covers the same, but I like to do all my covers the same. This is what it looks like. I'm waiting to punch the holes for the covers now that they're done. But for all intents and purposes, this is what this looks like. Isn't it gorgeous? My idea is, if I wanted to, I don't know if I like that. I kind of like this, but even, I don't know why I thought I had a different one of these. I thought I did another color. But I kind of like that in the, like that. And keep that clean up there. Or I can do hello right here. But I kind of sort of like kept it clean. I thought I was going to put this here and do it like that, but I don't like the polka dot. And I could have swore I had another color, but maybe not. But okay, that's the plan. Let's see how it goes. I could change my mind at any moment. But let's punch the covers. The covers are slightly different. So let me do that first. So, since this is 3 1/8 by 4 1/8, when you place it, you're going to have to place it about right here. There's a 4 1/4 here and 4 1/4 here. So I'm going to place it like in between the quarters, and it should line up because Miss Carolina said so, and I've done plenty of these, so I know so. So that's one. And it's going to line up with that. Those holes do line up. So that's my front. We'll flip it over and then do the back. These Okay, let me make sure I'm doing it right because I don't want to screw up nothing by talking and not paying attention. Uh-oh, something came on. Make sure I do it right. Okay, now I'm confusing myself. And that's the front. Okay. Oh, I'm just confusing myself. If I don't get this right, I'm going to be really mad. If I turn it over. Okay, so it's going to go like... Nope. Oh, bear with me, y'all. I always get the back confused. So here is the back. When you punch it... I can't remember if I punch it with this side up. I think I punch it this side up. Because it'll roll over like that. Wah! Curses. Because if I put it on the wrong side, it's going to be wrong. I think... Ooh, okay, let me think about it. I'm thinking hard. I forgot to look. This is the only step I forget. And I don't want to mess it up because I only have one. I think I punch it this way. So when I turn it, it should flip back on itself. Be right back. Gotta go consult the oracle. I was doubting myself, and it was for the back piece. You do this side up. Okay, so you do this side up, so it's the opposite of the front, and I usually have them laid out before I cut them in the way they're supposed to be cut, so I won't have this. But I was doubting myself, and Lord have mercy, if I mess this up, I'm gonna be so mad at myself. So there you go. But that's real. That's how it goes. As you guys are aware, that does happen in crafting. So now it's right. Okay. Alright. Okay. This still looks weird. Why does this look weird? What did I do? What did I do? This feels weird. Looks weird. Oh, okay. It's fine. It's me. It's me. It's me. I swear it's me. Okay. Did I want the gold to pop it? Yes, I did want the gold to pop out. Because I didn't want to do black. I wanted it to do gold because this has some gold accents in it. It's got some gold stuff. Okay. Move my thing out the way. Okay, so here we go. Back on track. This has 6 holes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Make sure. Yep, they all line up. There you go. When in doubt, just double check. This one looks a little bit bigger, but it's okay. Alright, so this has 6 holes, so I need to make sure I have 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I need to take off 2 of these. Where's my jewelry pliers? Okay, where are my jewelry pliers? I don't know where my jewelry cutters went to. Again, here I thought I had everything set and ready to go. But as per usual, sometimes Brenda's not prepared. Okay, there we go. Okay. 3 and 3. We're good to go. Okay. I am going to move this out the way. I'm going to get my big cinch machine. I'm going to have to do this off air because the thing is huge. And it's on the other side. So I'll be right back as soon as I punch this out. Promise. I'm sorry, not punch, but cinch this cover. But, oh, I can show you and demonstrate over here. I can set up everything and then just find it. Okay. So, I'm going to start with... Okay, great. I got it right. I'm going to start with my bottom. So I'm going to put this on here like so. Okay. And then I'm going to turn these over. And you could do this like once you get everything organized and done. You can do it in any order you want. I just like to go ahead and get everything punched. So all I have to do is cinch. It's easier for my brain. As you can see, I struggled earlier. Okay, there you go. Front cover, then back cover, and then there we go. And then that's the layout. Not bad. All right, I'll be right back to crimp it. And so the idea being, I don't like the way this crimps, but if you were using the mini, you would make sure that these are lined up here all the way to the back. So what I like to do is make sure this is in the center and really hold on to this really tightly, like really firmly. Make sure I got it firm. Put them right up to here, like kissing that edge, and press down. But it does a better job on the bigger one, so I'm going to use that one. And I will be right back as soon as I can figure out where my... Okay, that didn't take but a moment. See, crimped in the inside. Put it over. Everything looks good. I got a nice round crimp here. The back side is inside here. And I like the way the big machine does it. So I have the multi-cinch and then the bigger cinch, the big guy. So now it's time to add a few more decorative items. So what I'm going to do is I have some tulle. I don't have that frilly thing that Miss Carolina has, so I'm using what I have in my stash, which is tulle for my pullouts. But you can leave them blank. You don't have to use tulle. And I might just decide not to. It just depends. So let me put in that. There's a few tags I already have. If I find some inspirational quotes, you can slide things in here. There you go. That's what that looks like. Let me make sure. Okay, now I had that. Yep. Okay, because I wanted these to be opposite of these. So that's great. There we go. They're in like that. You can now slip in. I have a pocket for the front. I think I'm going to add that on camera. But you can kind of slip in any kind of die cuts you want there. Any pretty items you want sticking out. There's the belly band for that. If you wanted to do something nice and pretty, a little pop of color, you can add that. That would be really pretty with a little something inspirational on that to add just a little bit of color. Depending on who your intended audience is, I just have, anything you have laying around in your house. But I also like the hello thing. And I did 2 of these because I wasn't sure if I wanted to do like the offset of the hello, so you can get a little bit of the white. Yeah, because you can see I use that, but I like this. I think I like this color right here, and that's why I chose the gold thing here. And I kind of sort of like it floating into the, ooh, that would be pretty. Get another thing of hello and have hello, hello, hello. That would be nice. And then have them spaced out, and then have a hello, one more hello right here. That would be pretty to use up some of that scraps that I have. Have 3 hello, hello, hello. That would work. I did make a pocket, so I can put a pocket here in the inside. And I like this look because it does, I think this makes it more finished. And then you come into the lined paper, and I get to use more of my scraps, like I said. So let me add this pocket. And then I just had a pocket metal die that I used to make this out. You can make a pocket out of anything. You can just make a pocket out of the scraps. It doesn't have to be this particular type of pocket. Whoops. Let's remove that, and then we'll just put that there. Some acrylic block. I think. Where's my pocket? I got this journaling in here, so I use this to make the pocket. I have other stuff in here for things to make journaling, and you can do all kinds of stuff in this. I just put it in all on one thing. But I tend to use this a lot, and then I tend to use this a lot. I think I'll cut from my scraps. I'll cut out just some little just something like that. Put you in there to go here, and then I can also make another envelope that you can attach. But this makes really pretty. Like if I wanted to just have something tucked here, if I cut that out of another scrap, like a journaling card, put it right there, that would be pretty too. So the sky's the limit. If I decide to do tulle, this is what it would look like on the, and I'm always torn, but I don't have any gold tulle, and I really think the gold, if I go find some, that would be the perfect accent, not just the white or black, but I think the gold would be really pretty to pop up at the top. So, yeah, I am obsessed with these. Oh, yeah, and then also, not to have the back look so plain, I did have the idea of taking and just putting some belly bands back there, just to not have it be so stark white back there. And then that would tie in the gold. Oh, here's a card I can use. It's not white, so it's not necessarily a journaling card, but stick something up. I'd stick it right there, like that. Yeah, I think that will do that. And then you can kind of finish it off how you want it to look. But I'm just going to put some glue on both sides. Not in the center, because this is a belly band. And then just add it to the back. And then they can tuck in whatever treasures or items the recipient wants to tuck in here. They can tuck it in there. I'll put that in there. Booyah. And I have another color. It was just a thought of using up all these scraps. That was just my thought. Sorry you get to see all this last minute stuff, but that's how it goes when you're being creative. You just pull from inspiration from other items. that in there, and then one more belly band on that. Usually I like to do like two, like a side pocket here, then a belly band, but like I said, I forgot to adhere those first off camera and then punch the holes, so I didn't want to have to go back and do that. I mean, okay, I'll just leave the words. So I just put them on the front, but you can put your side pocket, your belly band, and your on the front and back of your dividers, or not. Again, another way of using up more of your scraps, because that's what I intended to do by cutting out some extra side pockets and a couple more band pockets. But alas, got too excited. And just do that in. The more you add, the thicker the book gets. But it's still, oh, it's like, what's holding it back? Out the way. Open it up a little wider, so it'll slide down in there. There we go. Oh yeah, I'm so excited. I'm gonna be making another one. I love these. So if you think I'm obsessed now, look, I've made all of these. And I got this one. Now I can add that to my collection. So Christmas gifts, man. Christmas gifts, that's all I can say. And then I went so far is to use my thermal cinch to make coordinating binders. So that goes with that, like just little notebooks. And that one goes with that one, like if you wanted to give a set. I have to practice some more. These are just for my use because they're not as nice as I would like. But this one's mine. I haven't used it yet, but this one's mine. As you can see, I have a chock full of everything. And then this is mine. This was my prototype. And that's that one. Isn't that gorgeous? It's another paper pad. Me playing with decorative edges with my thermal cinch. And then I'm going to use to make like a companion. I thought I had a companion. Oh, I haven't did this one. Like a companion notebook, like a mini to that, a mini to, and then a bigger one to this, and then a big one to that. So that's the plan. If you like what you've seen today, I feel like I went a little crazy at the end. Just let me know. Please provide a comment, feedback. Let me know if you went to Gatlinburg. How'd you like it? Where'd you stay? What'd you do? And I will appreciate if you hit that thumbs up, subscribe. You know what to do. The call of action is, because I am trying to get to 500 members before the end of subscribers before the end of the year. And this crafter would appreciate your support. And I'll come back to you next time with another project. But in the meantime, enjoy your day and be blessed.